Our BullFrog switch machine is a really simple manual turnout control that we make from laser cut wooden parts. This is it here. It's just a simple lever type switch machine, just rocks back and forth like that. It's controlled with these control rods. They're typically used in model airplanes, but they work very good for operating a switch machine. They have a locking mechanism that's made out of a simple ball bearing that pops into a hole, and that locks the machine in place, and that gives you a good solid lock on your switch points. You can see how those are snapping over really tight up against your stock rail, and that's the ideal way a switch machine should work. This is one of the machines here. It has a simple lever mechanism that's held in place with a ball bearing and a spring. You can see how it's popping in and out of the holes on the face of the lever, and that allows it to lock nice and solid in position and provide good spring mechanism to your switch points. The machines include a micro switch that mounts on the bottom of the machine like this, and it's triggered by the motion of this lever. There's a little trigger that's on the back there, and you can hear it clicking back and forth as it passes through the micro switch. What's nice with having the micro switch on it is it allows you to power the frogs on your turnout, so you don't have to compromise and use dead frogs. It's very simple to do. You have 3 wires. 1 wire goes to the frog, and 1 wire or 2 wires go on to your bus line. So it's really quite easy to install. They're activated using these control rods, and these are designed mainly for model airplanes, but they also work really well for operating these types of switch machines. So this control rod is run over to the switch machine. There's a little hole in the back of the machine that this will plug into, like that, and this runs out through the fascia on your layout and gives you a knob to activate the switch machine with. Here's one that's already been mounted onto a machine. You can see how it's just held in place with a little Z-bend that drops down through a hole in the lever and connects to the rod, and it allows you to activate it like that. And this is just connected to the switch points on the turnout. The assembly where the throw rod connects into hangs off the side of the machine here like this, and we've designed these machines so they can be built with this either hanging off to the left or off to the right like this. You may need to build opposite hands depending on where you're installing it under the layout. If there's an obstruction in the way, you can always build it with the opposite hand, or depending on where you want to put your control rod, which side of the layout you want to put the control rod on. Another option is to build it without this support at all. You can build just the standalone machine, which is quite a bit smaller, and use what we call the tadpole, which is this little piece here. And this allows you to mount this part remotely. So I can mount this off to the side. If you need to get the machine into a really tight spot, which is pretty common, especially if you're trying to mount machines close to each other in a yard, sometimes space is at a real premium. So this gives you a very small footprint, and there's not much to it. So you can mount that and then put this farther away, and this is what will support the control rod like that there. So you can mount this here and then put the machine several inches away like that. Here's one, just a demonstration version that we've set up, showing the standalone machine with the tadpole mounted remotely like that. And then it works the same way. It's quite easy to operate, and it gives you a nice solid place to mount that wire. And you can mount this 6 or 7 inches away and still get plenty of strength in the machine. We also produce this hanger. This hanger serves 2 purposes. If you're running your control rod for several feet, you'll need a way to support this so it doesn't sag, and it gives it enough strength to actuate the machine. So it allows the control rod to be simply slid in, and this gets screwed to the bottom of the layout. And this way you can string the control rod as far as you want. Also, the control rods come in 18-inch lengths, so if you need to join multiple pieces together, we have these little pieces of tubing that you can use, and they just simply slide the control rod on it like that. And then using this hanger, it will support that joint like this, and then you can just run your inside control rod through it. It serves a couple of purposes. If you're running your control rod a long way, it gives it the support it'll need and allows you to connect lengths of control rod together. So that's our little hanger. Our control rod kit gives you 18-inch lengths of control rod and a little handle that'll go on the end of your control rod that looks like this. It's just a very basic knob that you assemble and glue together, and it's screwed onto the end of the control rod. In place, these handles look like this, so it gives you a nice little knob that you can firmly grab onto and operate the switch machines like that. And that's part of the control rod. That's part of the control rod kit.